Welcome back to Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. I'm not Chat Show. Nope, it's still me, Sam. So here's what happened. Kevin, unbeknownst to a lot of us, is actually he's a life-saving emergency surgeon, and he was called up to perform a specialty operation that apparently only he and 2 other people on Earth are qualified to perform, and he wanted to stay with the family. What? Oh. No, none of that is true. His flight was delayed getting back from a gig in Kansas City. But I like my story better. But he's going to be here. I swear he's going to be here, maybe. But in the meantime, that means you're stuck with me. And I can't even say the wonderful Jamie Foxx is here because she also has life-saving duties to perform today. So instead, you've got me, but here's the much better news. We've also got one of my all-time favorite returning guests. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave Coulier.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Nice to be here. This is my first time at the West Side Comedy Theater, and apparently I am not in touch with the stand-up community at all. This is all new to me. It's a nice room, and you can take improv and stand-up classes.
That's right.
Now, have you ever seen a stand-up class?
I cannot say that I have.
I haven't either.
Do you think they're any good?
I don't know. What do you tell somebody? Like, hey, go up there and you better be funny.
I bought a...
People will hate your guts.
They will. If you're not funny. I bought a book, Judy Carter's book.
I remember Judy Carter. That's my era. Yeah.
She put out a book about stand-up in the early 90s that I bought. And I remember on page 2 or something, there was a thing that said something about if you are African American, a woman, or Jewish, immediately skip to page 60. And I remember going to page 60, it was like, half the work is done for you! Just run with that!
Really?
And I remember thinking, well, my Jewish jokes kill at Temple.
Yeah.
But I don't know how a crowd at Caroline's is going to like them.
Yeah. I was looking at that sign going, maybe I could use a stand-up class. Or you never know. There might be things that I haven't known all these years that could really put me over the top.
Always refining your craft.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. They do some good stuff here. But mostly, I want to address the elephant in the room, or in this case, the giant yellow box. You've brought a prop with you today.
It's really silly, isn't it? That General Mills would put me on the cover of Cheerios. Actually, this is a really cool thing. They ended up putting me on the cover of all the different kinds of Cheerios and Lucky Charms and all their cereals for a really cool thing. It's their Box Tops for Education program, and this is the 75th anniversary of Cheerios, 150th anniversary of General Mills,
wow,
and the 20th anniversary of their Box Tops for Education program. And in 20 years, this is a freaky number, which I was completely it's astounding. They've given away $800 million to kids for classrooms, for computers and books and science equipment. I mean, it's really an amazing program, and too bad more companies actually couldn't give away like almost $1 billion. But here's the thing: is you go and you cut me out. So you cut it out.
There you go. I want to make sure.
And you can take that to your classroom, and they match you, dollar for dollar. And it's a pretty cool thing.
That is a wonderful program, and certainly needed, because a lot of people forget, but he was a vicious dictator, General Mills.
Yes, he was.
And
yes, he was. And
it's about time reparations were made.
Yes, and fought Captain Crunch in many wars over the years. Yes.
A very terrible battle in our nation's cereal war history.
Yes, he was a serial killer. Good night, everybody. See, I could have learned that at the stand-up class. Yeah.
Oh, wow, we nailed it. Proud sponsor of the Celiac Disease Foundation. Celiac disease affecting approximately 1% of Americans. It's still 3 million people.
See
Let's make sure everything's gluten-free.
See that?
It's delicious.
Yeah. So this was a cool thing to be a part of such an iconic brand.
That is,
I'm very proud of to be part of it.
As you should be. I'm legitimately jealous because there is no chance of I think ever being on a Wheaties box for me.
Really?
Well, it's you say that so politely.
You never know. Just like I never knew. I went to their world headquarters in Minneapolis, which was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It's like a campus. There's 4,500 people, and they have this really cool nursery where you can bring your baby to work, and they put your baby on a train and drive the babies around the campus in this baby train. And everybody gets to come out, and when the train comes out, everybody gets to come out of their office and clap for the babies. It's a little, yeah.
I mean, it's on paper that sounds fun.
Yes.
In practice, it seems terrifying for the babies.
Well, the babies are just kind of flopping around like little jellyfish in their thing and just smiling and looking around. And it's a really cool facility. And I was there on Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
Oh, my God.
So the whole place, we were talking about Hershey, Pennsylvania before we started the show, which smells like chocolate.
It does indeed.
Well, you walk into the General Mills complex and it smells like chocolate chip cookies.
Wow.
And everybody who works there gets a cookie.
Every day?
Not every day on Chocolate Chip Cookie Day, I'm told.
Okay.
But
I'm going to have to do my own research.
It was an amazing slice of Americana to be a part of, because you realize this company's been around for so long, and I'm not doing a commercial for them, but I was amazed at all the different products that they have under this General Mills umbrella, like Lysol to Wheaties,
Yeah.
And I guess there's only been a couple people over the years of 75 years that have been on Cheerios. So yeah.
You
so
and the bee.
Yeah. So I was kind of proud of that one.
Well, that's fantastic. Congratulations, and I guess I'm going to try to win an Olympic medal of some kind, so I can.
You still have time.
It's never too late.
You could take a class for that too.
That's true.
How to win an Olympic medal. Yes.
Or we could get them to add some sort of comedy to the Olympics.
Yeah, you've got to incentivize things.
Really, I think that's a world sport. I really do. Pratfalls.
Pratfalls.
Pratfalls is a world sport.
Yeah, hitting the nuts. Hitting the nuts is a good one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's their next cereal, by the way.
Hitting the nuts.
It's called Hitting the Nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm hitting the nuts this morning, honey.
I was just talking. Yeah. I was just talking to a friend of mine about how Nut and Honey is. There's not enough cereals that have advertising based around marital strife.
And I think that needs to be brought up at their corporate headquarters so that we can address this horrible problem. Yes, absolutely.
We need more. I think it's something more middle Americans can associate with, is being miserable in the morning and wanting to bicker with your spouse.
That's true. And that's what your cereal
is. That's what your cereal is.
You do this then, and you sit behind your thing.
To help you get started.
Yeah.
So when we had you on the show last time, it has certainly been a minute. But we did talk about a lot of your extracurricular activities, and you and I briefly discussed them. But I would love to talk about your woodworking.
I love woodworking, and when I was a kid, out of pure necessity of growing up, in a blue collar household, you had to do a lot of your stuff yourself, and so I just took it upon myself to kind of learn woodworking. So if something broke, I could fix it, and it's really kind of become a hobby. I replaced 42 different windows at my house.
Whoa!
And it's an old house built in 1947, so nothing is square, everything's kind of out of line, so you really have to kind of figure out your dimensions for everything, and I just demoed everything and installed everything myself. And
do you cut your own glass?
I don't cut the glass, but you can order the windows, because everything is not square.
Right.
You have to have very precise measurements, so your measuring is pretty much the greatest detail you can uphold.
Measure twice, cut once, as my father taught me.
Yes, and so it's kind of just become kind of a Zen thing for me, where I just kind of disappear with the woodworking and get to work with my hands. And
do you have your own setup in the house?
I have I have a saw and all the tools that I need, and it's just something to kind of pass the time.
Absolutely. A shop class was one of my all-time favorites in school, because I felt like I came away with something tangible to prove that I had learned the skill.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of it, and so I too have always.
Do they even have shop class anymore? If like budget constraints like killed the shop classes?
Oh God, I sure hope so. It's been a while since I've been in school, and I have no children, nor do I hang out with a lot of 14-year-olds. So
I'm wondering if there's still shop classes, because I think it's really good. Like if you're going to be a homeowner later in your life, it's good to learn some of those those little skills.
Agree with you more. J-Mac, you date a lot of high school girls. Can you find out?
I'm on it.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, there you go.
I wish. I hope it continues on. I sincerely do. 48 windows, did you say?
42.
42 windows.
42 different window outlets.
A lot of windows.
It's a lot of windows.
Do you live in a glass house?
It is now. Yeah, it is. No, it's kind of a rambling ranch house. So there's different levels and lots of different areas and stuff. And I didn't believe I had 42 different windows in the house. But then when I actually started putting them in, I went, this is a lot of windows.
Lo and behold.
Yeah. But it's all low E max glass. So it's, back then they were incentivizing, that's the word, right? There was money given by the state of California if you put these windows in. Yeah, because they're
energy saving,
energy efficient, and all that stuff. So
very good. Yeah. Well, I'm very impressed. And should I need any windows replaced,
I'm your guy.
Now I know.
Call me. Yeah, call me. I'm telling you, I'm a good window guy.
That's fantastic. You're also a pilot.
I am a pilot. In fact, I just went to the Endeavor Awards last night, and Sully Sullenberger was getting the Endeavor Award. And
it's about time somebody honored that guy.
That's right. He hasn't been mentioned at all.
No, not getting enough press, I say.
But what a cool guy, and gave just an incredible speech about bringing new pilots into the world, and how aviation is going to be just fine, even though it's become extremely expensive for students. My son went to college for an aeronautics degree and is now a pilot for SkyWest Airlines. So there's a huge ramp up dollar figure to get to that place where you're actually a pilot.
Oh, sure.
It's expensive.
Oof, I can't. It's like medical school.
But listening to Sully speak, he kind of gave the state of the nation about aviation. That wasn't intentional to rhyme. And it was just a very eloquent speech that he gave. It was really nice. And it was at the Science Center, and the Endeavor shuttle is actually inside, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
So they had this wonderful ceremony. And it was also a thing called Angel Flight West, which is something I'm now going to be a part of, where you fly patients who are in need of transportation. You donate your time as a pilot and your airplane. And wonderful. They had some of the kids there who had much needed surgeries that couldn't get from places like Fairbanks, Alaska, and they were there and telling their story about their little daughter, and it's just something that these guys are doing this in the background that you never really hear about, So it was so inspiring to me that I thought, I've got to do this. I've got to start flying some people around.
That's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Between the Cheerios box and the charity and the energy saving,
I should be tired.
You're just a perfect man, Dave.
No, ask my wife. I'm not.
How did you get into flying? Was it something you liked as a kid?
I did, and my dad flew and took me up for my first airplane ride when I was 5, and I never forgot that feeling. I can still remember taking off for the very first time, and just falling in love with aviation. And anytime anything flies over, I still have to look up to this day. And it's an industry that is struggling right now. In fact, they're trying to close Santa Monica Airport over here.
Oh dear.
But what people don't realize is, in the background, aviation is creating a lot of jobs. There's a lot of fuel that those airplanes burn. There's that industry, and there's a lot that the local community benefits from general aviation.
Absolutely.
So
all those hangars and airstrips need to be built.
Absolutely, and you forget that aviation is really the safest mode of travel by far. I mean, the statistics are really staggering, and people are always like, "Oh my gosh, an airplane!" And I'm like, "Well, just don't drive to the airport, because that's where it's going to happen.
That's where it's going to happen. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of equipment do you like to fly on, Dave?
I'm
real proud of myself for knowing the lingo.
I'm partial to very old vintage aircraft. I have a 1962 Beechcraft Bonanza.
Ooh.
And it's got a V-tail, which is kind of the interesting design characteristic of that. And it's very fast. It's a very safe, dependable airplane. It's my second one that I've owned. My first one was a 1950 that I refurbished.
Wow.
This one is a 1962 that I refurbished.
Yeah.
And I think it just burped right into my microphone too. I don't know if you heard that up there in the booth, but the coffee you guys served me was great, and that's giving me indigestion.
Soak it up with Cheerios.
Yeah, soak it up with Cheerios. But I love aviation, and I work with the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association. We have a thing that myself and Morgan Freeman and Kurt Russell and Harrison Ford, we are all ambassadors in the Hat and the Ring Society. So we kind of, we go out and we kind of talk about the great aspects of aviation and how it really benefits a lot of people.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So many good organizations.
Yeah.
Right before we started, you and I were talking about stand-up gigs and flying, and you had said that if you had a gig that was under 1,000 miles away, you would fly yourself there.
Yeah, I still do.
That's phenomenal.
It's a great way to travel, and usually I don't have to fly into San Francisco, the major airports. Right. I can go right to the little executive airport, and it's usually I can get closer to where I need to go.
Oh man, so that's probably the best tip if a young comedian asks for advice.
Get your pilot's license?
Get your pilot's license so that when you get successful enough to get gigs, you just fly yourself there. Don't worry about the airport.
Yeah, and what's great is after your second show on Saturday night, because we're always awake, I just get in the plane and fly home.
Yeah, no Sunday morning 8 a.m. flight for you.
No,
and then you know what would happen? You'd never be late to host your own chat show.
What in the... Well, he's still not here. And now it's 12:20 here locally. Kevin sent me an email. I need you there by 11:40, Dave.
Yes, it's true.
Who was here early? Pretty sure I was.
That was 100% you. I think we may be getting. The wool pulled over our eyes. I think this is a bank heist.
Yeah,
I think Kevin is setting up an alibi that is not going to hold up for him later.
He should have got. He should have got his pilot's license. He could have flown himself, and he'd be here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Brought it back.
Brought it right back. Well, I hope he arrives soon. Because I can only hear so much about all the wonderful charitable organizations that I'm messing with you. I could not.
Totally unintentional.
No.
Totally unintentional.
Well, all right. You happen to be wearing a sweatshirt.
Well, I thought we would probably talk about the show a little bit today.
I would love to. I was going to try to save that for KP, but the guy's not here, and it's a big deal. I mean, from what I have heard, it is the most watched thing on Netflix.
It's crazy. It really is crazy. We, I think, are all a little surprised about the response. I mean, we knew that in syndication, we had a loyal group of fans, and we've never been off the air since 1987.
Right.
And the show has syndicated around the globe really, really well. And so it's a little surreal being back.
Sure.
And we're back on stage 24 at Warner Brothers, where we shot the original show.
Oh wow!
So it's very surreal to be back. But you know what? We appreciate it so much, and I think even though we're in the middle of season 3, I think we all appreciate it so much and have such great reverence for the show and what it has become, and for our fan base who has supported us in an unbelievable way.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have a number of friends with small kids who are watching the show, and to be able to share the same feel of the sitcom they grew up watching with their own kids now, but it's new episodes. I mean, I can't really think of anything comparable to that in media.
Yeah, it's really become cross-generational, with the first wave of kids that watch the show on TGIF to now they say, now my kids are watching the show, and it's really kind of remarkable because, we didn't expect to become like the Energizer Energizer bunny of television shows, you know, but we've really kind of just kept chugging along. And then when we did hit Netflix, it was so over the top with the actual numbers and the reception that we got from our fans that I think it took all of us a little bit by surprise, for sure.
Well, I am not surprised. Let me say that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
as someone who, as you well know, me and Jamie, who's normally here, I mean, we grew up on the show. I was born in '82, so I am right in the target.
You're in the wheelhouse. Yep.
For that, and you know, when I heard it was coming back, I thought, oh man, they're going to have 50 years of people covered with this show.
Yeah.
At some point, and that's great. I mean, it is still one of those shows that a family can watch together.
And there aren't a lot of shows like that anymore. And, you know, it's like when they tried to mess with the Coca-Cola formula. You know, we knew that if we were going to come back and do the show, we weren't going to really change it.
Yeah.
Because it's revered by audiences, and that's what they want. And we want to we never produced shows for the critics. We knew we were going to get pounded by critics, and we did. And then when Full House wrapped in 1995, a lot of the critics, including Tom Shales, came back and kind of, you know, retracted a lot of the things that they had said 8 years earlier.
Wow.
Saying, you know, I hated this show when it came out, but now I watch it with my little nieces and nephews and I get it. And it's nice to hear that, you know.
Absolutely.
It's kind of sweet retribution, you know.
Yeah, it's a Leonard Maltin edit.
Yes, absolutely.
That's wonderful. So you guys are shooting now. You said you're into season 3 already.
Season 3, yeah.
And that is, I mean, I've seen the show, and to me, it is definitely surreal seeing Jodie and Candace as moms, which I know they are in real life as well, and have been for some time, no less. It is, I mean, are you guys, I guess, how do I, are you able to joke around with the adult kids now?
Absolutely.
The way you were when it was you and Bob and John.
Even more so, and I think it's because they are moms, you know, and they're the next generation. It's, you know, it's Full House 2.0, and you know, we've always joked with the kids, and they seem like our real kids because we've spent so much family time with them, you know. But you know, I'm so proud of the girls because, you know, it's really kind of evolved into their show, and I think that they tackle the comedy now, especially the physical comedy, with more reckless abandon, and I think that that's because they're moms, and I think that, you know, they're away from those awkward years from the original show, and now they're just kind of like, you know what, let's just go for it.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm really proud of them, and got to direct our Christmas episode last season, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's fun.
And so I'm going to direct some more coming up here in season 3, and the show is an extravaganza. The Christmas episode, I had a 40-foot Christmas tree, I had Christmas props, I had a guy dressed like Santa, I had 3 different love stories going on concurrently in the show, including a dog that falls in love with a rabbit who
that old yarn.
That old yarn, yes. Well, it was the Nutcracker. I had to choreograph all these dancers. We had a remote set, we had special effects, and our producer Jeff Franklin said, you know, we want you to direct the Christmas show, but it's going to be by far the most you know, difficult show to shoot because we've got so much going on. I said, all right, let's have at it. And so it was fun. It's a whole different hemisphere of my brain, but
and
I love it.
Sounds like you nailed it because they're giving you more.
Well, yeah, or they're just really foolish.
Well,
one of the two. But you know, it's something that I'm pursuing now with other shows, directing other things, and you know, it's fun. I've been on, you know, in front of the camera for so many years that now on the other side it's flip-flopping and having to have answers for everybody on that crew. You got 200 people who, how big do you want the tree? How big is the wreath? What size is the carrot that the dog's going to bring in? You know, how many dancers do you want? How big is the tree? Where do you want the tree? You know, so, but I enjoy that challenge, and I think because of aviation, I have a technical head from that, which gets to be applied directly to the directing.
Oh, that is great. I certainly hope to see more of that, and I hope that works well. I think I think that there is no better qualification for an actor to become a director in the TV world than having been on a multicam that ran for so many years, because I mean, watching those are the most well-oiled machines in show business.
Yes.
Is how a multicam runs.
Yes, it's like a ballet. You're choreographing all of these different elements that have to come together, and the thing is that you have to have all of that in mind, but the core of it is it's got to be funny.
Right.
And if you have all this wonderful technical stuff going on around you, but the scenes aren't funny, well, it's the sit, not the calm part of it.
Right, and that's why I think the actors like Joe Regalbuto from Murphy Brown is a TV director now. I've worked with him a couple times, and I think the actor portion of that brings over this sense of comedy and the sense of timing.
Sure.
So as long as they know all the technical aspects and they've learned it from watching it 200 times or whatever, I think it's a perfect transition.
And I think actors trust other actors, that your sensibilities are going to be on their side, and you'll be thinking of, okay, how do we get this joke to work, or how do we get this physicality in the scene to work? And when you do it a couple hundred times, you just say, well, here's how you do it.
Exactly. I will always take a line reading from a former actor who's now a director. Yeah. I have no problem with that.
Good. Let's work together.
Tell me what you're hearing in your head. We'll do it. We'll move on to the next scene. That's phenomenal. Let's see.
You're running out of stuff to ask me.
Let's see, Jay. No, I'm not running out of stuff to ask you. It's that, I mean, we could talk about everything, but I just feel I don't want to recover everything we did when you were on the show.
How many years ago was that? Because I can't remember what we covered.
That must have been 8 years ago.
Was it 8 years ago?
2009?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
It's been a hot minute, as the kids say.
That is a ridiculous amount of time to have passed.
Did we talk about, I don't know if we talked about this, the cut it out?
Yes.
Have you ever paid your friend?
Mark Sandrowski, who is my oldest, dearest friend. We've been best buddies since we were 8 years old, and I have not paid him.
Okay.
I have not paid him.
You've not paid him?
No. Mark, he directs The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, so then he's
their only director. He doesn't need my money.
He does not need your money.
No.
Then. He's doing just fine.
No, I stole Cut It Out, and I'm keeping it.
Right. You know what? That's a fair trade.
Heck yeah.
That's a fair trade.
Well, when we were kids, his dad gave us an 8mm movie camera, and we would make little homemade movies like The Coke Addict, and it was a kid who was addicted to Coca-Cola. Right. We were really advanced. And so we would shoot in Detroit, and I remember we shot that in the middle of winter, and I was the actor, and Mark's the director, and I'm laying face down in mud in the alley, and I'm like, why do I have to do this? He goes, because you're the actor. I'm the director. I was like, I want to be the director. So it's taken me a while to get to the other side here.
So I think we got to turn Mark into an actor now.
Yeah. I want to throw him in the mud face down.
It's the end of this story.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So that answers that question.
Nope, haven't paid.
Not been paid.
Nope. And this, I gave him one of these.
Yeah. Oh, that must have made his head explode.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. His wife laughed at it though.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, I know what we can talk about. Something near and dear to you: hockey.
I played this morning.
Oh. How did that go?
Well, we have a little pickup game that's been together for 17 years, and it's a bunch of ex-pros, and everybody played somewhere, whether it's major, junior, college, or professionally. So it's a good fast skate, but we have a light team and a dark team, and I'm on the light team, and we've gotten our ass handed to us for like the last 10 weeks in a row.
Now, I'm not going to make the very obvious racial jokes here.
Yes.
But I feel like the light team in a hockey rink is the only chance they'd have of an advantage.
Well,
I mean, really.
It just turns out if you have a light jersey, you're on this team.
Oh,
if you have a dark jersey,
I misunderstood you.
Yes. So just
So we're talking ice skating here.
We're talking hockey, and I still enjoy it. I still skate with the Red Wings alumni and play a few games with them for charity each year. I was just back at Joe Louis Arena for the final game at Joe Louis Arena. They're going to.
No, they're getting rid of Joe Louis?
Yep, they're knocking it down, and it's going to be Little Caesars Arena now. It's an amazing complex in downtown Detroit. There's a whole renaissance going on in Detroit. I don't know if you knew that, Sam.
I had heard.
Yes.
I know I have some friends in the comedy scene. Mark Evan Jackson, Keegan-Michael Key are doing a lot in Detroit with improv and the arts.
Yeah.
And so this is not a huge surprise to me that they're also.
There is a wonderful renaissance going downtown. A lot of investors are investing in downtown. A lot of buildings are being torn down. New buildings are being put up. It's become a foodie area, which is wonderful. So the bar scene, the food scene has really picked up. A lot of chefs, like world-renowned guys, are there now opening restaurants.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a nice rebirth, a new stadium for the Pistons and the Red Wings.
That's great.
Little Caesars Arena, and they're trying, because man, it was bottomed out for a long time. There was a lot of bad leadership in Detroit for many decades, and so they hit bottom, and it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes now. It's really kind of inspiring.
That's phenomenal. That's really great. I'm very happy to hear that. Detroit is. It is one of those great American cities that has had this incredibly rich up and down history, and I feel like if Detroit is doing well, we're probably all doing well. So
yeah, it's really an amazing place to be from when you realize Henry Ford and Thomas Edison, and if you ever get a chance to go to Detroit, go to the Henry Ford Museum. I mean, he collected actual trains. So there are train locomotives indoors and gigantic printing presses and machines that he just collected.
Wow.
And so he has all of them under this, I think it's 1 million square feet of this museum. And it's really, he's got Stradivariuses that he collected, and he's got old kitchen items and the car that Kennedy was shot in, the Lincoln. So he collected all of these moments in history and has them assembled all under one roof. And it's really, really impressive. And people say, "Oh, Detroit," but there's some real gems like that there that people don't know about.
Are you a collector in your personal life? Is there a?
I'm not really a big collector other than hockey memorabilia.
Okay.
So I have a lot of jerseys. I just got to coach the team at the Centennial game in Toronto. Detroit alumni played the Toronto alumni, and it's an outdoor game. And so I got picked to be one of the coaches.
Wow.
And so I got all these jerseys of all these Hall of Fame guys who I know, but I've never gotten the jersey signed.
Yeah.
So I had 13 jerseys. So I got Brendan Shanahan and Nicholas Lidstrom and Chris Draper, the grind line guys, all these Hall of Fame guys that I just know and skate with. And I'm like, I never got this signed. Could you sign it?
Were they framed? Did you have to get them out of the frame?
No, I just ordered the jerseys and brought them back with me and got them all signed and like a kid in a candy store back there.
Absolutely. No, I'm obviously a Chicago fan. Yeah. And I got to meet Chris Bryant last year, MVP and Rookie of the Year, and I was giddy.
How many years was it?
108 years.
108 years.
Yeah, the longest drought in American sport.
It's really incredible. I suffered through the Detroit Red Wings 42-year drought.
Ooh.
And then got to sit next to my hero, Gordie Howe, when they won the Cup for the first time in 97-98 season.
Oh, wow.
And sat next to Gordie. And it was so funny because Gordie Howe was my idol growing up in Detroit, and as he was everybody's idol. And he's Mr. Hockey. And so we became friends later in life. And so I got a seat next to Gordie watching this game. And they were playing against Philadelphia at Joe Louis Arena. Mm-hmm. And they won the Cup, and it was the most magical feeling. And the whole game, Gordie kept saying, "Get me a Chablis." It wasn't Chablis. They were serving Chablis, but white wine was a Chablis to Gordie Howe. He said, "David, get me a Chablis, please." "Yes, Gordie, I'll get you a Chablis." So then we went down in the locker room, and the first guy I saw was Jeff Daniels, my doppelganger. And I know people come up to me all the time, "Are you dumb or dumber?" I'm like, "Hey, cut it out." So I saw Jeff Daniels, and then I just stood in there next to Gordie Howe watching the champagne and guys holding the Stanley Cup, and it was just one of those magical moments.
Wow, yeah. That is awesome. I am. I don't.
Were you at the game when they won?
I was at Game 5.
Were you?
4 and 5 at Wrigley.
Yeah.
This breaks my heart. I was offered tickets to Game 6 and 7, but I could not take them because I had work in LA. And I mean, hindsight is 2020.
Yeah.
If I had done it, if I'd made the investment, if I'd gone to Cleveland, and Rajai Davis ties it up in the 9th inning, and then the Cubs blow it, and I have to sit there and watch Cleveland win it in a walk-off, and then take that sad flight back to LA, it would have been devastating.
That would be some counseling. That'd be some psychological
It really would.
counseling.
So, I mean, in hindsight, I'm sad, but at the time, I'm okay with the way it went down.
It was cool seeing Bill Murray out there.
Oh, man.
He was just weeping openly, I mean, but so were so many people.
I wound up watching Game 7 in the host of this very chat show with Kevin Pollak and our friend Graham Elwood, and when that last out was made, and the announcer had the Cubs win the World Series.
Unbelievable.
I fell to the floor, and there is video of this that we've shared. I'm just openly sobbing with joy. I just could not believe it had finally happened.
Yeah, it's one of those priceless moments in all of sports. Really, really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and at Wrigley they do. I know they've tried to do it at least once or twice. They've done a Blackhawks game.
I was there.
Oh, you were there?
They played the Red Wings.
Oh, right.
And I was there at Wrigley, and it was really, really cold.
I was just about
It was really cold, and I went there with 8 people, and we flew in from all different parts of the country and met there, and it was unbelievable. They did an amazing job.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of hope they do that again, and I'll bring out 6-7 pairs of long johns.
Yeah, it was
heated gloves.
And the thing is we're there, and everybody's like, "Let's go grab a beer." I'm like, "It's 10. Why do we want a cold beer?
Yeah.
Can anybody?" Okay, all right, sounds good. That's what you do.
They got to get a hot toddy machine down there. That's what it's all about when it's that kind of temperature. Ooh.
Yeah, I looked like Kenny from South Park, man. I had the snorkel. Going, just kind of stuffing a beer in there. And, where's Dave? Yeah.
Oh man, that's. Are you a baseball guy or?
I don't pretend to follow any sport other than hockey.
Okay.
And
that's fair. I don't really, other than baseball. I tangentially know what's going on. Anytime a Chicago team is doing well, like when the Blackhawks are making a run, I'll always hear about it from my.
I was surprised that the Blackhawks didn't, do much better this year.
Yeah.
They're a really talented hockey team, so I don't know what's going on there.
They say baseball's a game of inches. I think hockey is a game of centimeters.
There's not a lot of space or time out there now. The players are so strong, so talented, and the ice surface, is a finite space, and these guys keep getting bigger and faster.
Yeah.
And so it's a really. I think the game has evolved into such a better sport. I really think that they've made a lot of rule changes that have made the pace quicker. And Kevin's a Pittsburgh fan, isn't he? He's a Penguins fan, right?
Yeah. Big Penguins fan.
Big Pens fan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who do you like in the Cup?
Who do I like, or who do you think? Who do I think is going to win?
Either or.
I would really, and this is going to sound terrible. I would love to see the Capitals finally win it.
All right.
Just because they have never made it to the finals, and it would be nice just to kind of.
Did you say the fucking Capitals?
Yes, I did. You son of a bitch.
Timing is everything, my friend. I'm so glad I could get here to stop this conversation about the Capitals.
Jeez,
Hi, Davey.
I have missed you.
How are you, honey?
I'm good.
Sammy, thank you for that. I want to thank American Airlines. Go fuck yourselves.
Isn't that their new slogan?
Yes.
That is their new
We
slogan.
won't drag you off the plane. We'll keep you on it longer than you'd like to stay.
I brought. Hopefully, I'm not going to snap my mic, but I brought you a present.
Did you bring me some cereal?
I brought you some. Yes, I'm on the.
As a prop.
I'm on the cover of Cheerios.
Wait a second. Cut it out.
Yes, it's for the Box Tops for Education program.
Well,
We already covered this.
good, of course. Yes.
Yes,
I just want to
absolutely.
say, did you cover the fact that cut it out?
Cut it off.
was
No,
stolen?
that happened a long time ago. That happened a long time ago. You've never seen me
The
in
Jews
the shower,
are still
though.
cutting it off.
Yes.
Cut It Out, stolen from your best friend and former comedy duo partner.
Yes, Mark Sandrowski, who directs The Big Bang Theory.
Cinder, nickname.
Cinder.
I know a few things.
Wow.
Done a little research.
You really
For the
have.
last 17 minutes.
What kind of underpants am I wearing right now?
Whitey's.
Okay.
Hey, congratulations on this.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a really cool project to be a part of, and I was saying earlier, you know, this Box Tops for Education program has given away $800 million to kids in schools.
Just
for
handing them out checks at the schoolyard?
Pretty much, yeah. That's where all the drugs are coming from.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But
800 million.
800 mil, almost $1 billion.
Worldwide, nationwide.
Nationwide for schools in the United States.
Screw the rest of the world?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. But you know, it's a great thing that kids can do with their parents. They cut these. They cut them out. They cut the box tops out. You go in, then General Mills gives you a check, and you can spend it any way you want in your classroom.
Now, when you say any way you want,
Yes. You're reading my mind right now, aren't you?
Trying to.
You can buy computers, books, school supplies, pens, pencils, you know, anything you want for your classroom.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on
But that's
that.
for you. I'm giving
This
this
is
to
for
the
me, and I
show.
used it as a prop.
It's for the show, yeah.
I'm going to put it on a plexiglass, and years from now, future generations
Burn it when you need it.
will wonder what the fuck this was.
Yes.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
You know, I watched the tape the last time we spoke, and I just had to keep watching the moment when you did Joe Pesci and dropped me like a sack of rocks. And you know, we've both been doing voices a while. Someone else who does voices great shouldn't be able to rip out my heart and show it to me as I die.
Well,
Yeah, you did.
Once in a while, you get one of those. Frank Welker.
Yeah.
I love Frank dearly.
Sure.
Wonderful, wonderful guy. We're both pilots, and his hangar is now across from mine at Whiteman Airport.
Now, when you say hanger, you mean his penis.
I do.
Okay, good.
Well, because I talk in code, right?
So his penis is hung across from yours.
That's right, Lipschitz. Yes, code once again.
And where is this hanger?
Whiteman Airport in beautiful Pacoima.
Sure.
And you've never been there.
No.
You've never been there.
I'd love to.
Or would you? You can go
Yeah.
and hang out at my man cave at the hangar.
I'd rather go up in a plane with you.
Well, I will
Are
take
you
your
allowed to
time.
bring other people at this point?
I am. Yes,
Okay, good.
Yes, I have been doing that for many years.
Yeah.
But Frank Welker is one of those guys who is the voice of Scooby-Doo. He, you know, was on the original Scooby-Doo.
Are you pitching me a guest? I love Frank.
Yeah, yes, I'm pitching you a guest right now. He told me. Hold on. Oh, Frank, it's working.
Frank was one of the most talented guys I first met when I got to town.
Yeah, and he's done every voice in the world,
Yeah.
every cartoon. He does Curious George
Never heard
now.
him do Joe Pesci, though.
Never have. Unbelievable. See, that's where that son of a bitch, hold on, that son of a bitch, he can't even do it. I told him I'd just shoot you right in the fucking foot, Frank. Unbelievable, this fucking guy. Fucking breaking my balls. Unbelievable.
It's this little air pocket at the back of your foot.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
It absolutely changes.
He's in a tiny
the
little
game.
room. He's in a
Yes.
tiny little room there, marked Joe, and you got to go back in there. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But the obscure ones are the ones that always crack us up.
Yeah.
You know, but Frank's got some really good ones. He does Bob Hope, which is really funny. And Dave Thomas does a great Bob Hope, too.
Yeah, Bob Hope was easy to do, but very difficult to do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked with this kid. Do you remember Mark King? He was part of the Comedy Store sketch people back in the early 80s. Mark King.
No.
You remember when Larry Miller, there was three of them. Larry Miller, Mark King, one other guy did an improv sketch thing together. So Mark King taught me how to do Bing Crosby. I said, well, everyone's doing Bing Crosby. This is 100 years ago. He said, I'm so good at doing Bing Crosby, the key is putting the B sound, as many B words. Bebop-palooba. He said, I'm so good at it now, I can put the B sound on any word. Give me a word. And I said, whale. And he said, whale. It's always one little key.
Yeah, there's a little key. Yeah.
Right.
Well, Dave Thomas brought back the McKenzie brothers, the two coo, 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 coo.
Sure.
And
I
he
wasn't sure
said,
until you made that sound.
Would tell you weren't sure. Yeah, what's my reference point? I like to throw a little sound effect in just to really
Have
sell
you
it.
done the hand trumpet yet from your first Tonight Show appearance?
I have not.
Oh,
no.
good. I'm glad I didn't miss that.
Yeah. No,
I remember
haven't
sitting at
done-
home watching your first Tonight Show appearance, not kidding. And we would collect comedians on the Tonight Show like baseball cards. Right? And you come on and you're doing voices. Oh, this guy's great. And you go to the hand trumpet and I went, he got on with this? What kid's not making sounds with his hand from age 7?
That was.
This guy's going to have a career now.
And I went right from there to hand farts for a living.
That's right.
Yes.
Now, Dave, you did something with your hand. I'm not sure the folks at home saw. you actually planted it up your own ass and did poo-poo Gijo.
Yes, poo-poo Gijo.
Yes, right.
Yes, that's good. That is on the fly like that. You came up with that.
This comes right out. There's no off
Wow.
switch. I just got off a plane. I can't feel my leg.
You can't?
No.
Yeah, I
I love
can't
it
sit
when they
there.
stay on the tarmac with no explanation. That is literally my favorite thing.
Well, did you land at LAX?
Sure.
Because they never have a gate when you come early.
That's exactly. And the big problem now, the Americans are taking over Terminal 5. I'm sorry, the world. Yeah, they're taking over Terminal 5, and so you got to take the bus to the satellite terminal, and then that's an extra day and a half. Same argument, right? The discussion's having right now in Somalia.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about food. What did you eat on the plane?
I don't see how that's your business. Can I go to some of my prepared questions,
Okay,
Dave?
sure, absolutely.
If you wouldn't mind.
Because I'm totally unprepared.
Did we talk about the complete failure of the Detroit Red Wings so far this year?
No, we did not.
Okay, good.
Would you like to?
Let's blow past it.
Okay.
I know you have. You're still playing the game of hockey.
I played this morning, yes, before I came here.
How are the knees?
Everything's good.
Yeah.
Everything's
Had
good.
anything replaced?
No, a lot of stitches.
Sure. Well, we can see that. I wrote down the hand puppet. So let me ask you this. Last year, you made what I consider to be a hell of a commitment. So I have to ask, how long did you sit patiently and completely naked in the back of a limousine with your penis poked through the mouth of a John Stamos 8x10 photo waiting for Bob Saget to arrive?
This was, when you put it that way, it sounds quite eloquent. It really sounds like, wow, you really prepared.
like
You
to tee it
really
up.
put the time in.
I wrote that. That was not off the fly.
That your staff
Wrote
did
that on the plane.
Really?
Sure.
It was actually for Bob's 50th birthday.
Yes, it was.
And
many years ago.
and Bob is filthy.
Well, yeah.
He's filthy.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to
And you're not.
Right. Well, I am
With
kind of
him.
in the locker room and
Yeah.
with Bob and my buddies and stuff.
Sure.
But
We got to work blue to make each other laugh.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Can I pull my pants down right
Please.
now? No, I want you to see something. I really have. I have to show you
Is it
something.
finally the dual head? Because I know many years you talked about
It's like
some
a
sort of
sprinkler.
bifurcation.
It's like a sprinkler.
Surgery.
Yeah, I can turn a corner and pee both ways.
So you're in
Anyhow,
the back of the limousine.
yeah, these are the jokes. Okay.
You're going to steal Bob
Yeah.
or kidnap him and take him to Vegas.
We're going to take him to Vegas, and I wanted to out-filth Bob. I wanted to do something that would just out-filth
That
him.
bar is so low. It's nearly
so
impossible.
they went in to get Bob and came back out, and we had an 8x10 of Stamos who was
Sure.
going to meet us in Vegas.
Absolutely.
So, of course, I peeled out the mouth where John's mouth would be.
Yeah, much like you do, folks. If you're ever
Yeah.
making that breakfast, it's called a man in a boat, egg in a basket, a lot of different names, toad in a hole. You got the egg popping up through the toast.
Button on a sweater. I forgot that one.
Not a sweat.
Button on a sweater.
Or cock and a Stamos.
There you go.
Let's go to the phone.
So I took the mouth out
Sure you
and
did.
I geared down and
Geared down.
I geared
That's
down.
that pilot
I
talk.
geared down
Yeah.
and then kind of took my
Guided.
and yes, I guided the missile.
Yeah.
And it was popping out of John's mouth.
You better believe it was.
When Bob got in the car and he just went, Dave, put your clothes back on. So we went to Vegas and we
That's all
showed
he
him-
said, by the way.
That's right. That's all he said.
Now I have to ask the question that
Yes.
everyone is wondering.
Yes, 9 inches. That's the answer.
I had
right?
no idea Stamos had such an enormous mouth.
Yes, enormous mouth.
Were you?
Very deep mouth.
Were you? I mentioned at the top of this
Yes.
how committed you were
Yes.
to this gag.
Yes.
Were you committed enough to not remain flaccid, or the idea of Bob's arrival so exciting.
You've got a whole little cartoon world going in your head
I don't
right
think
now.
I'm alone. There's cameras on both of us. People are wondering.
I was very committed to it, but then we got to Vegas.
Otherwise, it's like a tongue just hanging out.
That's true. That is what. Have we showered? Do we play sports together of some kind where we've been in a locker room?
I've been on the internet.
Because, man, your memory is uncanny. But when we got to Vegas, we showed John his 8x10, and he took his tongue and he started putting it through the mouth, and Bob shows him his picture, and he goes, I don't think you want to do that. And I said, you just blew me by proxy. So, you can say that on this show.
Today's show brought to you by Proxy.
Proxy. The all-new minty mouthwash.
That's right. Okay, good. So now I have to ask about the piloting. Have we talked much about the piloting?
We've talked a little bit about the piloting. Yep.
Okay. Then let me ask one. Give me, first of all, how many hours are we talking now? Because for a long time you've had a very specific level of hours. That instrument.
Yeah. I'm instrument rated.
So tell us about that.
It's kind of.
You're allowed to use the instrument. Folks, try to follow.
Yes. It's kind of like the aviation bar exam. A small percentage of pilots are actually instrument rated. Most guys are visual VFR guys. IFR is much more complex. How so? You're flying in the system now with airliners, and you are basically on a specific flight plan at a very specific altitude. Sometimes you're in the clouds, so you have no outside reference, and you're navigating solely by what you see on the gauges.
At what point do we take Harrison Ford's license away?
Just because he landed on a taxiway over a 737.
On an airplane.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
Yeah,
Did you see this photo? That was fun.
Yeah. That was not a good day.
Yeah. And just that voice coming over. I think I know where I'm at.
I'm the schmuck who just landed on the taxiway.
Yeah. Get off my plane. He's still just saying the lines from Air Force One as he's flying, talking to the tower.
Get off my plane, you son of a bitch.
Joe Pesci as a pilot.
All right, Ollie is back there. Shut the hell up. There'll be some turbulence, for crying out loud. Just shut up. Just shut the fuck up already back there.
Oh, did he shoot the co-pilot in the foot? I mean, he's tempted.
Probably.
Spider? Come over here, Spider. Oh, yeah, I shot him in the foot. I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
Just casually.
That's it. It's the throwaway. If you can make him conversational, that's what kills me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did I tell you that on the set of the Casino, you heard me, watching Rickles go after De Niro and Pesci was maybe the greatest thing ever? Well, Rickles.
Yeah.
God bless.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone is enamored overly and respectful of De Niro. He walks on the set, every sphincter tightens. There he is. Shut up. No, you shut up. That kind of thing. Rickles, not impressed. He would go after De Niro in the middle of a take. Camera's rolling, Scorsese's watching. De Niro standing next to him, acting brilliantly. Middle of the shot, Rickles would turn on him. Is that the way you're going to do it? Like that? No, you got the awards. I'm sure you know what you're doing. Go ahead. Right?
Do you think?
And De Niro was... he loved it. Weeping happy. Pesci, not so much.
No.
At the wedding scene with a couple hundred extras, Rickles decides that that's the moment to point out that Joe is so short, he's going to ride him around the set like a Shetland pony. And I'm telling you, Pesci not only did not laugh, got very hurt and very curt.
Now, do you think Rickles ever took a picture of De Niro and took his mouth out and
I don't think.
put his wiener through?
I don't think he ever worked that blue, Dave. No, I don't.
You don't think so?
No, they weren't that close.
They weren't.
No.
Not even in the Vegas years
No.
with Frank and Dean and Sammy? No? No. I bet he did.
No,
it.
Pesci was pissed.
Oh,
he was
pissed.
I mean, I saw him walking out to his chair. That fucking Jew prick cocksucker, fuck him! To himself, walking to the trailer. I said, Joe, you just kidding. Yeah, you're another one. Fuck you too. Yeah, he was not pleased.
Last time I saw Joe Pesci was at Lakeside Country Club, where he plays, and all I heard, "You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!" And I go and I look over the bushes and went, "Of course that's Joe Pesci." Of course, yeah.
He had got the slice back, or someone picked up his ball?
You know, no, he had a cigar out to here, and he was just, out there, and he's just, "You son of a bitch, you son of a bitch." And I go, "That's Joe Pesci."
It's usually 18 holes of that sort of thing.
I was over at Lakeside one day, and I was playing golf with the Olsen twins' dad, Dave Olsen. Who was a brilliant golfer. And so
How brilliant?
He shot 67.
Seriously?
From the tips. Yeah, he's pretty good. I played with him 3 times, and he never shot in the 70s. 68,
So you're
67.
slowing him down a little.
I'm slowing him down a little bit, yeah. But he was a really good player.
And a patient man.
He was a very patient man, yes. And I wear a cup when I play.
Sure
so,
you do.
You're
so wearing one now.
You got to have, I am. Of course, you never know. A midget walks around the corner with a wooden sword.
Hey,
boom.
we got that.
yeah. Boom, and you're down.
Takes a quick shot.
So we had closed the bar at Lakeside, and I walk out with my buddy Steve, and I look on the driving range, and Bob Hope's got his little golf cart, and he's standing out there hitting balls.
At what age?
He's got to be 80s,
Yeah.
late 80s maybe. So he's out there, and he's hitting balls, and it was the most brilliant thing ever. So we're sitting there like 2 kids in the bushes, peering through, looking at Bob Hope, and he's out there, and he hits one, and he sculls it. He hits a worm burner, and he turns around and he goes, he did a take to no one. Brilliant.
You guys just happened to be watching.
We were just watching and went, "This is we
But
gotta
he
watch
played it
Bob
like he
Hope."
assumed people were
But
watching.
someone was watching him.
Yeah. I like to point out that, and Woody Allen has copped to this, that he took one of his classic gestures from Bob Hope. The yes, completely ripped from Bob Hope.
Really?
Yeah, you watch those Bob and Bing movies, and Bob's doing those little asides. Yeah, the same.
Yeah, isn't that marvelous?
Hey, I like you. I'm going to put you on my special.
My next guest, that cheese on her chest in '67, Miss Barbara Eden, everybody.
Gloria Steinem.
He used to have those specials where he'd just rattle off people. I always said they just put him in a booth for like 5 years and just said, "Bob, here's a list of names, just in case they're ever on your special."
Just read them off.
Stan Can. Sandy Barron.
I also love that he got a massage every day for the last 20 years or maybe 25 years of his life. Every day.
You're saluting somebody over there. Is it
The armed forces. We got a twofer today. No way.
Really?
Both pilots, by the way.
Really?
Oh, armed, yeah. Armed and dangerous.
We're going to have to talk about that because
Yeah, well, we're going to see if he's instrument
rated. Instrument rated.
Instrument rated. He's very impressed. Dave, we have 3 minutes left.
So.
Let's go down.
Okay.
Fuller House, the #1 rated TV show on Netflix. A lot of people can't believe that.
Yeah, us included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's miraculous.
It's surreal being back there,
Yeah.
but I think we have a newfound appreciation for being able to do it again.
Right.
It's a gift, It really is.
Yeah, it's a gift the second time around.
It is, and how many people get to kind of, they always say you can't go back home again. We got to go back home,
Yeah. Just make sure your family's not there.
Yeah.
Right.
But we're on the same stage, 24, where we shot the original show at Warner Brothers, which is
Practically
even more surreal.
Yeah. There's a second season.
We're in our 3rd season.
Oh, sure.
And I'm going to direct some more. I directed the Christmas Extravaganza last season.
How much fun was that?
It was fun. It was very tedious. It was a huge undertaking just because we had the Nutcracker being choreographed. I had 3 love stories. We had special effects. We had a
now you're just bragging.
remote. That's why I wear a cup, because you want to kick me right in the nuts right now. But it was.
That's a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. So we're just kind of chugging along, and the show is not one of those. It's never a critic's choice, even though we won the People's Choice, the Kids' Choice, and the Teen Choice Award.
The highest rated TV show on Netflix? I'm going to say that's the award, my friend.
Thank you.
No,
That's a good way to
honestly
put
and truly.
it. That's a good way to put it. Thanks. So,
This
there's
was told to me by Mr. Netflix. Yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I did a
didn't
movie
know
for
that.
them, and we were kibbutzing, and Full House, and he said, yeah, it's a #1 rated show.
It's phenomenal that our fans have come back and supported us all these years later, and we all appreciate it tremendously.
Well, hopefully they appreciate that as much as I appreciate you coming on today. I, of course, apologize for missing the first 49 minutes. But
This 6 minutes with you, though, I'm telling you, it's been amazing. Really
it
has.
really has.
It really has.
Come on. They call me the closer.
So I'm the opener.
No, it means you bought a condo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You bought a condo in Boca, and I've just signed you up. I just need you to sign that. Speaking of which, J-Mac, you brought releases, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can release me anytime, please.
Dave, we always end the show with, I don't know if you remember, a wonderful version of the Larry King game.
Yes.
Larry just celebrated last Monday 60 years in broadcasting.
60 years in broadcasting.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So this is that moment where right before he goes to the phones, he looks down the barrel of the camera and shares a little something about himself. Usually something no one needed to know.
Okay.
So this is about Larry, not about you. As Larry, I want a bad Larry King impression. Not looking for a good one.
Okay.
Bad ones make me laugh. And then go to the phones. When you're ready, there's your camera. Have at it.
Hello, Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Larry King, you're on. And I have a skid mark that is 60 years old. To the phones.
That's how you play the Larry King game. Sam and my guest today, Dave Coulier. Thank you so much,
Thank
Dave.
you, pal.
Honestly and
As
truly,
always.
congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Folks, get involved. Be a part of this amazing fundraiser for school funds. Only 9% goes to Dave directly, so keep that in mind. 91% is going to the schools and the kids, and I think that's all that matters.
Thank you, pal.
Thank you, buddy. All right, until next time, and as always, thank you, Sammy. Thank you, crew. He's already mentioned everyone. Why should I bother now? Nope.
I didn't mention the crew. I didn't get to the end.
All right. Until next time, and as always, get out of my face.